presence of the Lord is in this place. I can feel God's mighty power and God's grace. I can hear the brush of angels' wings. I see glory on each face. Surely the presence of the Lord is in this place. During the season of Lent, we have been with you on Wednesday evenings. Our midweek meditation has been focusing on our 5 senses of faith for Lent. And this evening we're talking about taste. Exodus 16:31. The house of Israel named it manna, and it was like coriander seed, white, and its taste was like wafers with honey. Proverbs 20:17. Bread obtained by falsehood is sweet to a man, but afterward his mouth will be filled with gravel. Proverbs 24:13 and 14. My son, eat honey, for it is good. Yes, the honey from the comb is sweet to your taste. Know that wisdom is thus for your soul. If you find it, then there will be a future, and your hope will not be cut off. Matthew 5:13. Jesus said, you are the salt of the earth. But if the salt has become tasteless, how can it be made salty again? It is no longer good for anything except to be thrown out and trampled underfoot. Matthew 14:13 through 21. Now when Jesus heard this, he withdrew from there in a boat to a deserted place by himself. But when the crowds heard it, they followed him on foot from the towns. When he went ashore, there was a great crowd, and he had compassion for them and cured their sick. When it was evening, the disciples came to him and said, this is a deserted place, and the hour is now late. Send the crowds away so that they may go into the villages and buy food for themselves. Jesus said to them, they need not go away. You give them something to eat. They replied, we have nothing here but 5 loaves and 2 fish. And he said, bring them to me. Then he ordered the crowds to sit down in the grass. Taking the 5 loaves and the 2 fish, he looked up to heaven and blessed and broke the loaves and gave them to the disciples. And the disciples gave them to the crowds. And all ate and were filled. And they took up what was left over of the broken pieces, 12 baskets full. And those who ate were about 5,000 men, besides women and children. Our first piece is time now to gather. Time now to gather, time now to feel Christ's holy presence gracing this meal. Grain from the harvest, fruit of the vine, simple the supper, sacred the sign. Time to remember Christ who was sent. Time to say thank you for all he meant. Come to this table. Come without fear. God will forgive you, welcome you here. All who are hungry, come and be fed. Serve one another this cup and bread. All who are troubled, hurting, or sad, come and find healing. Come and be glad. Taste and see. Taste and see the goodness of the Lord. Oh, taste and see the goodness of the Lord. Life-giving bread. Life-giving bread as our hearts are transformed anew, and life-giving wine may we share in a life with you. Let us be bread. Let us be bread blessed by the Lord, broken and shared, life for the world. Let us be wine, love freely poured. Let us be one in the Lord. Jesus, thou joy of loving hearts. Jesus, thou joy of loving hearts, thou fount of life, thou light of light. Greater than pleasure earth imparts, thy love is true and pure delight. We taste thee, O thou living bread, and long to feast upon thee still. We drink of thee, the fountainhead, and thirst our souls from thee to fill. In remembrance of me. In remembrance of me, eat this bread. In remembrance of me, drink this wine. In remembrance of me, pray for the time when God's own will is done. In remembrance of me, heal the sick. In remembrance of me, feed the poor. In the remembrance of me, open the door and let your neighbors in. Let them in. Take, eat, and be comforted. Drink and remember too, that this is my body and my precious love shared for you. In remembrance of me, search for truth. In remembrance of me, always love. In remembrance of me, don't look above, but in your heart. In remembrance of me, in remembrance of me. you are salt for the earth. You are salt for the earth, O people, salt for the kingdom of God. Share the flavor of life, O people, life in the kingdom of God. You are a seed of the word, O people. Bring forth the kingdom of God. Seeds of mercy and seeds of justice grow in the kingdom of God. Bring forth the kingdom of mercy. Bring forth the kingdom of peace. Bring forth the kingdom of justice. Bring forth the city of God. Eat this bread. Eat this bread, drink this cup. Come to me and never be hungry. Eat this bread, drink this cup. Trust in me and you will not thirst. Come to the table of grace. Come to the table of grace. This is Christ's table, not just yours or mine. Come to the table of grace. Come to the table of peace. This is Christ's table, not just yours or mine. Come to the table of peace. Come to the table of love. This is Christ's table, not just yours or mine. Come to the table of love. Come to the table of joy. This is Christ's table, not just yours or mine. Come to the table of joy. Come to the banquet. Come to the banquet, there's a place for you. Though you maybe have no money, though you maybe feel unworthy, in your strength or in your weakness, you are welcome. Come. See, you are an honored guest. From constant serving, you may rest. So sit you down, be fed and blessed, for you are welcome. Come. Woman, wise one, mother, maiden, see your plate with food is laden, and your place is set and waiting. You are welcome. Come. Worker, father, little boy, old man or youth without employ, come and rest your worry. Here is joy, and you are welcome. Come. Whether you've been lost or faithful, whether you've been wise or wasteful, here's a place of rest and grace, and you are welcome. Come. Here is the one who turns and runs to meet you, loving arms stretched out to greet you. Do not let your fear defeat you. You are welcome. Come. Willing hands have made this bread, with yeast and salt and labor shared. Let all hungry ones be fed. It's time for feasting. Come. Abundant wine, enough for all. Our generous, loving host has called. The cup of blessing now is poured. For sweet communion, come. You are welcome. Come. We share a hunger. We share a hunger for justice in our world, that all may find joy, all may find wholeness, all may find peace. We share a hunger to feel the light of Christ shining through us, shining on all, bringing God's reign. Spirit, fill me. Spirit, come and fill me. Fill me with your peace. Fill me with your joy and your love. Spirit, come and show me. Show me how to care. Show me how to share your light. Help me give my hand to those in need. Let my heart be open to receive. When we share your love, we can work together to heal this broken world. Spirit, come and fill us. Fill us with your peace. Fill us with your joy and your love. Spirit, come and show us. Show us how to care. Show us how to share your light. Help us to give our hands to those in need. Let our hearts be open to receive. When we share your love, we can work together to heal this broken world. Let us talents and tongues employ. Let us talents and tongues employ, reaching out with a shout of joy. Bread is broken, the wine is poured, Christ is spoken and seen and heard. Jesus lives again, earth can breathe again, pass the word around, loaves abound. Christ is able to make us one. At the table he sets the tone, teaching people to live to bless, love in word and in deed express. Jesus lives again, earth can breathe again, pass the word around, loaves abound. Jesus calls us in, sends us out, bearing fruit in a world of doubt, gives us love to tell, bread to share, God Emmanuel everywhere. Jesus lives again, earth can breathe again, pass the word around, loaves abound. For the senses, John O'Donohue. May the touch of your skin register the beauty of the otherness that surrounds you. May your listening be attuned to the deeper silence where sound is honed to bring distance home. May the fragrance of a breathing meadow refresh your heart and remind you you are a child of the earth. And when you partake of food and drink, may your taste quicken to the gift and sweetness that flows from the earth. May your inner eye see through the surfaces and glean the real presence of everything that meets you. May your soul beautify the desire of your eyes, that you might glimpse the infinity that hides in the simple sights that seem worn to your usual eyes.